I'm gonna be the only. Everybody. Why ain't nobody else saying it? First of all, before I get into all that, welcome to the nation, y'all. Monster Nation, that is. I'm your host, Mr. Monster Man Rocco. I'm your tour guide, the president. I'm the king around here. I'm the landlord, owner, tenant, janitor. I'm off the damn floor with you if you don't follow the rules. The rules are you gotta like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. You're trying to be a taxpaying citizen of the nation. Leave us a super thanks, cash app, super chat, depending on when you're watching it. Click one of the links at the bio, the merch link, the Bandcamp link for the music, and all of that. But yeah, so 38 Spesh is the topic. 38 Spesh versus everybody. Against Jada, Joe, and Jimmy. How y'all feeling about that? Okay, so let me just tell y'all what. I'm gonna just say what ain't nobody saying. 38 Spesh raps. I think he can hang out with Jadakiss. Jada. I just now listened to the song. So for anybody who don't know, first of all, let me backtrack a little bit. 38 Spesh is an MC. He's been in the game for a while, but he's underground and independent, and he's been doing big things, great things. Underground and independent. He's been doing. He's done very well for himself, right? Before I knew who he was already doing well for himself. You know what I mean? So he's in a position, or he's placed himself in a position where he don't really need all of the cosigns, all of the networking, all of the politics and the bureaucracy that's all through the game. Like he found a way to get to the bag. You know what I'm saying? Get to enough notoriety to keep expanding on his bag. Beautiful thing. And Son is a cool dude. I've met Son. We've partied together. All of that. Now, of course, I've been in the game since the '90s. I know Jada. I mean, I've met Jada on numerous occasions. Met Fat Joe on numerous occasions. Ran in the gym on a few occasions and all of that. But this all started with Joe. I mean, this all started with Jada and Spesh, right? Spesh did an interview and he said that I don't know how the topic came up, but he basically said that he did a song with Jadakiss. Well, he did a song with Benny the Butcher, and Jadakiss was on the song too. All three of them on the song, and he had the best verse on the song, and he been trying to get Jada on the song ever since, and Jada hasn't. I guess I don't know if he said he hasn't returned his phone calls or whatever, but he ain't. The song ain't happened, and he implied that he had been, you know, pursuing that issue. Maybe not pressing it, but pursuing the issue. And I just now listened to the song because I had never heard it. Right before I hit the live button, I listened to the song, and the song is on YouTube with 3.2 million views. It's from 7 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? So that happened. I listened to the song. I do feel like Spesh had a better verse than Jada. I also feel like 7 years ago, all of us didn't know about the boys upstate. The Griselda, I mean, some of y'all knew, some of y'all was ahead of the curve. But I feel like the masses, I don't know, 7 years maybe? Has it been 7, 10 years? Since Griselda has been, to anybody in the know, let me know how long it's been since we've all known about them. You know what I mean? Now, Spesh ain't a member of the Griselda family, but he's an affiliate. You understand what I'm saying? All right, the chat is saying 10 years. The citizens are saying 10 years. That's rocking. All right, that's what's rocking. But yes, I knew about Griselda. Then I heard about Spesh later, right? So I'm just saying, like, the point I'm trying to make is a lot of times when rappers get called, when established rappers get called for a feature, if they not really familiar with the artist, they might not do their best. Like you holler at them if you pay them. I don't know if Jada was paid for this feature or whatever, but you know, names that you don't know might not motivate you. You might just write a 16. It'll be fire and all that, but you never know if a killer is about to be on that song too. That's why I don't play those games. You know what I mean? I remember Joe Budden did a vlog. He did it was a segment on his podcast where he was talking about how rappers purposely, when they do features and you come to a nigga with a brown paper bag full of money talking about, yo, how much, they will give you some trash to get that verse. I'm not saying Jada's verse was trash, but that's what the point Joe was making is like, we don't care. We don't think nobody's ever going to hear this song. What, man, take these scribbles. You know what I mean? So I'm saying I listened to that verse and honestly, I don't feel like it was Jada's best verse, his best work. You know what I mean? But yeah, Spesh, I do believe Spesh had a better verse. Benny had, like, it felt like he had 1,000 bars or whatever on his own, if applicable. But yeah. So he said that he been trying to get Jada on the song ever since, and it's been a no go. Now, when he said that on the Bag Fuel interview, he had it was a bit of a cocky era, but it was a playful era. It was a bit of a cocky aura. Hard pause. It was a bit of arrogance there. You understand what I'm saying? A whole bunch of confidence, but it seemed playful. You know what I mean? But then the responses started coming in. You know what I mean? Jada Kiss responded on a verse. Think it was it the Big Daddy Kane challenge or whatever? And that response was so sick. This is respectfully, I don't like subliminals, because I was sitting there cursing out whoever said that was a response, that was a 38 special diss. I was like, y'all niggas are starting rumors, because subliminals don't do it for me. That's always like, this is partially why I fell in love with West Coast hip hop as a youth. You understand what I'm saying? Because they were straight to the point, and that's kind of how that's kind of how I prefer it. You know what I mean? I hate listening to rap singing lyrics. I done memorized all the lyrics, and then years later I found out by singing these lyrics I was dissing the rapper that I like or whatever. Like I don't like being left out of the joke. But anyway, that's besides the point. But so yeah. Anyway, yeah. I didn't even think that those was real. So it was the excuse me, sorry y'all. It was the verse that Jada was spitting. I believe he was in a car. I think it was the Big Daddy Kane challenge and all of that. Then this Fat Joe song comes out that got Stove Guard Cooks on the hook and Jada Kiss on the verse, right? Now, another line Jada Kiss says, everybody immediately they print it up as he disses 38 Special again. When I'm like that, all right, it could be Aroma. Yeah, that's the name of the joint. I'm like, it could be, but it's no direct shot. You know what I'm saying? And people be instigate. I remember my homeboys called my phone one day, right? This is like 2001, 2002. My homeboys called my phone like, yo, Cameron dissed you. I'm like, Cameron dissed me? Cameron ain't dissed me. They like, Cameron dissed you, son. Nigga sent the song, whatever. I don't remember, but what they was referring to was the line where he said, "Get your rock man like I seen rock man," because I call myself rock man sometimes. But Cam don't know I call listen. I didn't. It wasn't no buzz, no heat on me. Not really. Not no 2001, 2002. He don't know I call myself rock man. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why things like that happen. All throughout the 90s, niggas was getting approached and pressed about some subliminals, and the nigga like, I wasn't talking about you, B. Niggas gotta go, oh, my bad. So yeah, I don't really, you know what I'm saying? But never mind how I feel about this. 38 Spesh went back to bag feud, because not only did the two Jadakiss verses jump out there, uh, Jim Jones jumped out there somewhere along the line, basically stating that 38 Spesh ain't got nothing he ain't got nothing for Jada. And he was being, he said it in his, how Jim Jones would say it. I don't even know if I heard the exact clip. He said, yeah, I did. He said something about how many bullets in 38, you know what I'm saying, blah blah blah. But sound like he's trying to be playful. All right. So here's my problem with the whole situation. Well, not my problem. Here's my observation. Right? As I said at the beginning of this video, which wasn't none of y'all in here yet, but I'm gonna bring it back.
Pause.
38 Spesh can rap. He can rap as good as Jada. Like they can get on another song, and he is capable of besting Jada on another song. He has that. He can do that. Now, what everybody is speaking to is Jadakiss's legacy. Like, if we talking of verses, then Jadakiss has the edge, because Jadakiss has years of hit records that are universally recognized. I feel like what Spesh has is more of a cult following, and so on and so forth. His underground following, yeah, that it's solid. You know what I mean? But those records that are ingrained with whole eras of people's lives. I don't know if Spesh had. I mean, his core fan base, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, in a major way, like if the verses is in Madison Square Garden or something, like, So yeah, things like, yeah, Jadakiss wins in a versus setup. In a URL setup, or let's say a judged rap battle. Let's say it's a rap battle, just like like battle rap culture style. A judge, but with three judges that never heard neither one of them. Because we all love Jadakiss. We all love Jada. It is what it is. The culture loves this nigga. He can do no wrong. Salute to him, right? I'm part of the culture. I love him too. Like, this nigga, I never heard him. I never heard him spit a whack verse. But if we put them in the room with three judges who never heard either one of them, I think Jada has trouble. I'm sorry. Respectfully, I think Jada has trouble. Because it's something I noticed about Jada recently. And I know Mickey Fax, happy belated birthday, bro. I know he might not I know he might not agree with me, but something not well, it's not the part. He'll agree with this part. Something I noticed, Jadakiss ain't really a punchline rapper. He uses punchlines, and they be top tier, right? Like the metaphor simile type punchline, right? He uses them, but not as much as I used to view him as a rapper who heavily relied on those. But upon further review, he's not. Jadakiss just has a barrage, a bevy, a shitload of slick lines and relatable lines that you made a line like anthem like lines that you make that are so relatable because you heard them your whole life. You understand what I'm saying? Like if he deserved it if he died with his eyes open. Like those lines, like things you hear. You understand what I'm saying? Things that like they just slogans and cliches and sayings and beliefs in throughout our culture. So when you hear them in a rap, you like, yo, it just hit different. You love it. But yeah, that would I in a battle rap form, and if they got on a song together, yes, yes, Spesh can be a problem for Jada. He can be. Now everybody is saying, yo, with the career, the legendary. Y'all are right. I'm not disagreeing with none of that. Y'all are right. Y'all are right. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes down to, I don't know, I mean, you got to think about it. Jadakiss's career, Jadakiss he was around here when when major labels was doing their job. You understand what I'm saying? When they was doing real promotion, like he had a bad boy run, he had a Rough Riders run, and he had just a plain old D block run and everything after that. Like he's, you know what I'm saying? So that notoriety, that impact matters. So if they ever did a versus, Jadakiss would get him. And I think it would be easy. But I'm just saying, what I don't like, only thing I don't like about because it's two things actually. It's two things I don't like. Oh yeah, so what Mickey Fax wouldn't like about what I was about to say was this. Mickey Fax, he believes, Mickey Fax has a whole rap school. You understand what I'm saying? If you want to get your bars better, sign up to Pendulum Inc. They doing great work over there, right? But Mickey Fax, he rates all of the weapons, all of the tools in dope raps. He has them on like a rating system, and he feels like punchlines is all the way damn near down at the bottom. But when it comes to battle rap, I feel like it is very high. I feel like it's very high. Period. I would put it higher than he puts it on the list of tools. You understand what I'm saying? And when you get on a song rapping with somebody and y'all competing for the best verse, whether y'all say it or not, punchlines, the amount of punchlines and the intensity that the haymakerality of the punchlines, it matters. It matters. That's what like if you ever see me on a song with other MCs, with a lot of dope MCs, you'll notice I always use a lot of punchlines, and I always have the best or one of the best verses. You understand what I'm saying? And Spesh, he his punchline game is crazy. It's crazy. He relies heavier on punchlines than Jada does, and that I feel like that's an edge. You know what I mean? But two things I don't like about this whole situation right now, because like I said, it was competitive, it seemed playful. It don't seem that way no more. That's the one thing I don't like. Don't seem playful no more. Like it feel like, the responses that Spesh, that Jim gave him, because Jim said something about his clothes or whatever. He's just talking slick about his drip and all that. Spesh is like, yo, we ain't talking about no drip, we talk about bars. So he told Jim, you ain't even qualified to speak on nothing with niggas who got bars. I felt like that was slick, right? But I feel like hostility building in the room, and
I don't like it. I don't like
I
it.
don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like like everybody, like cause all of like everybody involved, they all give Special props. They all say he nice. You understand what I'm saying? They all say but of course, nobody's going against Jada. You understand what I'm saying? But so they all say he nice, but as they gonna say they little, they gonna try to put their little spin, little jokey joke. They all content creators at this point. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want to see this get hostile. You know what I mean? I think 38 Specials is fully equipped to handle this situation with raps. You know what I mean? When he was talking with the other thing I don't like about the situation was when he was going at Khaled and Fat Joe for the song, calling Fat Joe and Khaled Jadakiss cheerleaders and all of that. When he was saying all of that, and he took shots at the song, by the way, which I think is fire. But I do hear what he's saying when he say you don't want to hear no 50-year-olds rapping about the smell of drugs. I mean, that's like rapping drug raps ain't never been my thing. You understand what I'm saying? I personally don't want to I don't as I said, drug raps ain't never really been my thing. I don't really want to hear too much of it from nobody. You understand what I'm saying? But what I didn't like about it is why you why you age shame the bros, bro. I'm their age. I think I might be a year older than Jadakiss. Fat Joe is probably a year or two older than me. But come on, don't do the age thing. You understand what I'm saying? I'm 52 years old. I just now Googled when John Gotti got locked up, and they was like John Gotti. Well, he been getting locked up since he was a kid or whatever. But when he got locked up and and it was the end of it for him, he's 51 years old. You know what I'm saying? And I've been making this point right here for over 20 years. So the mob could grow old being gangster, but we can't grow old being gangster. The triads could grow old being gangster, but we can't grow old being gangster. Not saying that that's the thing to do, but if you want to shame us for being gangster, don't shame us because we old and being gangster. I'm just saying. But Spesh is my boy, and I like what he doing. I just don't want it to get hostile. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want it to get hostile. That's my problem with battling in rap or competition in rap. People always talk about how rap is a it was built, it was born off of competition, and I don't believe it until you get me the first two niggas who ever rapped and tell me they battled each other or they learned how to rap by battling each other. I'm not gonna believe you. I believe the first two niggas who ever rapped were collaborative and not competitive. Prove me wrong. Find me the first two niggas that ever rapped. Until then, if you made it to the end of this video, let me get 4 microphones. Alright? Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications and all that. Rock on, rock on.